Hey, it's Activate Running Coaching, John speaking. I want to talk today about an experiment that I'm about to do on cadence. In fact, about to go for a run, and I'm going to do 3 1-kilometre runs at a different cadence, keeping the same pace. 150 steps per minute, 165 steps per minute, and 180 steps per minute, and we're going to see what effect that has on my heart rate. So I'm back from my experiment, a little bit red in the face, but it was an interesting experience. So my goal was to run 3 1-kilometre runs with a different cadence, trying to keep the same pace minute per k's, and see what effect that had on my heart rate, whether it was more efficient or less efficient to run at either 150 steps per minute, 165 or 180. I'm going to show you the results in a minute. But I had a few little problems. The first thing I did was I set the metronome on my watch with audible beeps, and I had a little trouble hearing the beeping, so I had to hold it up to my ear sometimes, but I did lose the cadence quite a few times, as you'll see in the results. The second problem was I had trouble staying at the goal pace which was 6 minutes per kilometre, which is what I was going to do for the 3 separate 1-kilometre runs. The first kilometre ended up being at about 5:18 minute per k's. That was with 150 steps per minute. So I thought, righto, well, I'll try and keep that pace while I do the second and the third. And you could see from the results that was also a bit of a problem. Another problem was trying to keep the cadence uniform. I did get the average cadence. That's the result that you'll see in a minute. But it did vary quite a bit over the course of the 1 kilometre. So keeping that in mind, I aimed for the same pace, 5:18 for each of the, or 5:19 actually, I think it was, for each of the next 2, and I was partially successful with that. So here are the results, and let's talk about the conclusions that we might be able to draw or not draw. As you can see, there's not a lot of difference. The average heart rate in all 3 cases was around about 137 to 140 beats per minute. And okay, does my average heart rate indicate how efficient that cadence was? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. One thing I do know was that at the 157 steps per minute, it really felt like I was lumbering along, and it was quite a challenge to keep the cadence that low. The higher cadence of 179, trying for 180, was also a little bit difficult for me. I think my natural, inverted commas, cadence for that pace is around about 165 to 170. Anyway, I was hoping that at least one of those cadences would show a significantly lower heart rate, but alas, no, they're all about the same. Maybe if I made the run a 5 to 10 kilometre run in the same weather conditions, the same temperature, humidity, etc., which can also affect heart rate, then it might be a more realistic experiment. In my next video, I'm going to try something different. We're going to have a look at some slow motion shots of my foot landing on the ground at the different cadences. I'm going to try for 150, 165 and 180 again. We'll see what I can get. I'll go as close as I can at approximately the same pace, and we'll have a look at the slow motion landing of my foot on the ground and see what we get. We'll see you then.